The shimmer of Hollywood has always concealed uncomfortable truths. For nearly a century, the entertainment industry has demanded physical perfection from its leading ladies, creating beauty standards that required constant maintenance, chemical intervention, and sometimes permanent damage. These are the documented stories of women who paid a physical price for fame. Jean Harlow. Jean Harlow became Hollywood's first platinum blonde bombshell in the 1930s, but her signature look came with devastating consequences. To achieve her luminous white blonde hair, Harlow underwent weekly treatments using a toxic mixture of peroxide, ammonia, Clorox bleach, and Lux soap flakes. Her hairdresser Alfred Pagano later admitted to this dangerous formula, which was unlike anything available commercially at the time. The MGM studio recognized the marketing power of Harlow's unique appearance and offered $10,000 to any hairdresser who could replicate the color. No one succeeded. This hair became part of her contractual obligation, making her a prisoner to a look that was literally destroying her scalp. The weekly bleaching process caused her scalp to blister, scab, and peel from chemical burns. By the time Harlow filmed Libeled Lady, the harsh treatments had caused her naturally ash-blonde hair to resemble straw. The damage progressed until her hair began falling out in clumps. MGM's archives reveal that when the hair loss became severe during production, the studio brought in hair expert Marcel Machu, who immediately recognized the damage was irreversible. Alarmed at the extent of her hair loss, Harlow finally ceased the bleach treatments and began wearing wigs crafted by Max Factor, which blended real and synthetic fibers to recreate that platinum sheen. The studio was so concerned about protecting their investment that they evaluated the situation immediately, not wanting word to spread that their platinum blonde was losing her hair. In her later films like Libeled Lady and China Seas, audiences could see Harlow sporting darker hair colors or wearing carefully constructed hairpieces. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth's transformation from Margarita Carmen Cancino into a Hollywood icon required literal reconstruction of her appearance. Studio executives at Columbia Pictures decided that her naturally low hairline, common among those with Spanish ancestry, needed to be altered to create what they considered a more American appearance. To achieve this transformation, Hayworth endured years of painful electrolysis treatments that permanently removed hair follicles along her natural hairline and temples. This process raised her hairline significantly, keeping her forehead clear and creating the look that studio executives believed would make her a star. The treatments were excruciating and time-consuming, representing one of the most extreme measures taken to conform an actress to Hollywood's beauty standards. Combined with the tight pin curls required for her signature waves, these alterations gave Hayworth the perfect appearance that made her one of the most photographed women of the 1940s. The electrolysis essentially erased part of her ethnic heritage, changing the physical characteristics that connected her to her cultural background. Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball's iconic flaming red hair was neither natural nor easy to maintain. Born a brunette, Ball was convinced by an MGM hairdresser to transform her look with the memorable pitch. "The hair is blonde, but the soul, it is fire. We will dye the hair red." The beauticians at the Max Factor salon created an atomic orange-red color, specifically designed to pop vibrantly on screen. Maintaining this signature shade required constant attention because red pigment molecules are particularly large and fade from hair faster than other colors, even with permanent dye. To keep her hair vibrant between color treatments, Ball's team employed a special secret henna rinse formula. Some reports claim she kept this recipe locked in a safe, though this may be urban legend. The combination of permanent chemical dyes and henna treatments kept her hair the brilliant red that became synonymous with her identity. The decades of constant chemical processing took their toll, but Ball maintained her signature color for the rest of her career, understanding that the red hair had become inseparable from her public persona. Unlike actresses who could eventually abandon their manufactured looks, Ball's red hair became so central to her brand that discontinuing the treatments was never really an option. Judy Garland. Judy Garland's struggles with the MGM studio system are well documented, but the physical toll on her appearance is less widely discussed. Years of studio-mandated stimulant use, extreme dieting, stress, and grueling work schedules disrupted her normal hair growth cycles and led to severe hair thinning by age 30. A former MGM hairstylist who worked with Garland in the late 1940s confirmed the extent of her hair loss. The nutritional deficiencies caused by studio-enforced starvation diets eliminated essential nutrients necessary for healthy hair. The psychological stress from constant criticism and impossible demands triggered hormone fluctuations that further accelerated her hair loss. Additionally, the tight, pulled-back styles required for many dance numbers created traction alopecia along her hairline, while chemical processing to maintain her dark color added further damage to already stressed follicles. According to a makeup artist who prepared Garland for several films in the early 1950s, she was rumored to have undergone follicle plug-in procedures extremely early and crude hair transplant techniques. These primitive interventions were desperate attempts to restore what the studio system had destroyed. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe's transformation from brunette Norma Jean into the platinum blonde icon required constant chemical warfare against her natural hair. To achieve and maintain her famous white blonde color, Monroe bleached her hair every 2 to 3 weeks using high concentrations of sulfuric acid and hydrogen peroxide. Additionally, she used caustic soda, a chemical similar to drain cleaner, to straighten her naturally curly hair. The relentless chemical processing left her hair weak, thinning, and extremely brittle by her mid-20s. By the end of her life, Monroe had very little healthy hair of her own remaining. She wore wigs not just for film roles but increasingly in her private life as her natural hair became too damaged to style. During the filming of The Misfits, her final completed film, Monroe relied heavily on wigs and hair pieces. Interestingly, Monroe purchased hair loss treatment products like Ultrasol hair bath multiple times, indicating she was actively trying to address the damage. However, by that point, the years of harsh chemical treatments had caused irreversible harm to her hair follicles. The platinum blonde hair that made her the most recognizable woman in the world was quite literally destroying the foundation it grew from. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell dominated the fashion world for decades, but the physical requirements of her profession caused permanent damage. Years of wearing heavy hair extensions and extremely tight hairstyles required for runway shows created severe traction alopecia. This condition occurs when constant tension on the hair shaft damages hair follicles, potentially causing them to stop producing hair altogether. In 2012, candid photographs revealed the extent of Campbell's hair loss, showing visible bald patches and receded hairline. Trichologist Philip Kingsley, a renowned hair expert, confirmed that hair extensions often cause bald patches where they have gripped the scalp. The images showed not just thinning, but complete smooth areas where hair no longer grew, along with scarring from years of adhesive use. Campbell's case became a cautionary tale within the fashion industry about the dangers of traction alopecia. The condition had progressed to the point where early restoration attempts faced difficulties because the scalp tissue had become too damaged for traditional treatments to be fully effective. Christina Aguilera. Christina Aguilera became known for dramatic hairstyles featuring heavy extensions in the early 2000s. The constant weight and tension from these pieces pulling on her natural hair caused significant traction alopecia, leaving visible gaps at the back and sides of her head. By 2003, bald patches were noticeable enough that she began covering them with wigs. A guest at a 2012 ceremony observed a visible patch of scalp on the front right side of Aguilera's head. The damage from years of extensions combined with hydrogen peroxide treatments created loss patterns similar to those seen decades earlier in Golden Age actresses. Despite modern hair restoration technology, Aguilera spent years using extreme volume techniques and strategic parting to hide evidence of past styling choices. Keira Knightley. Academy Award-nominated actress Keira Knightley revealed in 2016 that she had been wearing wigs for 5 years after experiencing significant hair loss from overdying. Her career required constantly changing her appearance for different film roles, and she had dyed her hair virtually every color imaginable. The repeated chemical processing eventually caused her hair to literally begin falling out of her head. The damage likely manifested as chronic telogen effluvium, a condition causing all-over shedding and thinning from chemical stress. Working as the face of Chanel Cosmetics added pressure to maintain her appearance, making wigs the practical solution. Knightley called wigs the greatest thing that's ever happened to my hair, acknowledging that continuing to dye her damaged hair would only worsen the condition. At just 31 years old, she had already caused enough damage to require years of wig wearing to allow her natural hair to recover. Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande's signature high ponytail became iconic, but the style causes constant physical discomfort. After attending the MTV EMA Awards in 2018, Camila Cabello tweeted about experiencing serious pain from her Ariana-inspired ponytail, removing it before the show ended. When Cabello reached out for advice, Grande responded that she experiences constant pain from her ponytail and has simply learned to live with it. Grande began wearing the high ponytail in 2014, initially because her hair was severely damaged from bleaching during her Nickelodeon years, and the style was the only way to hide her broken strands. Though she told Birdie in 2016 that she continued the style simply because she loved it. Discussions on fan forums noted that her hair appears very clearly incredibly damaged, with concerns that the tight ponytail styling compounds the problem. The constant tension from such a severe style raises concerns about traction alopecia developing over time. The fact that Grande experiences daily pain from the hairstyle, yet continues wearing it, demonstrates how signature looks can become traps. The style that defines a celebrity's image can simultaneously cause them physical harm, yet abandoning it might feel like losing part of their identity. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga's theatrical persona required constant hair transformations that took a severe toll on her scalp. According to reports from 2011, the singer began experiencing significant hair loss from the excessive chemical dyes used to create her flamboyant looks. Sources stated she was turning to Rogaine, a hair regrowth product, to address the damage. A source close to the situation explained, "She's poured so much chemicals over them that it's damaged her follicles. She's hoping by using Rogaine, she can repair some of the harm." The Born This Way hitmaker reportedly first started worrying about her hair while on her epic Monster Ball tour. A source claims Gaga went backstage in distress because whenever she dragged a comb through her frazzled bleached tresses, there was hair everywhere, in the comb, on the floor, in her hands. Gaga later discussed what she called a chemical haircut, telling interviewers she needed to cut her blonde hair short due to all the damage from dyes. Dr. Bowden, a hair restoration specialist, confirmed that the overuse of chemicals and dyes to the hair can most certainly cause hair loss, noting that women and men need to use chemicals and dyes cautiously or possibly suffer from related hair loss. Adrienne Curry. Adrienne Curry, the inaugural champion of America's Next Top Model, revealed in October 2025 that a makeover orchestrated by Tyra Banks left her with significant hair loss. Curry took to Instagram to recount the incident, which occurred during the filming of the reality series' first season in late 2002 and early 2003. In her video, Curry explained, "I want to talk about why I'm partially bald. While I was on Top Model, Tyra Banks instructed them to add a weave to my hair. The black stylists involved pulled her aside, and I overheard them say, 'This white chick's hair is too delicate for this.' But Banks insisted, 'Oh no, just do it,'" she continued, expressing the physical toll it took. "I ended up with oozing wounds from braids. Half of my hair was torn out. The little hair that remains here is all that I have." Curry discussed the long-term consequences of the makeover. "This area has never fully grown back. It's permanently damaged from that weave. The pain was unbearable. I felt like I was crawling out of my skin every second." She expressed confusion over why she needed further makeover adjustments after already undergoing a dramatic haircut on the show. "In episode 1, they cut my hair for a photo shoot, and it looked fantastic. Then they said, 'You need a makeover.' It was terrible." Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith publicly revealed her battle with alopecia areata, an autoimmune disorder where the immune system mistakenly attacks hair follicles and prevents hair growth. Unlike the damage caused by styling or chemicals, alopecia areata is a medical condition that causes round patches of hair loss on the scalp and potentially complete hair loss. Pinkett Smith addressed her condition and the experiences of other patients during a June 2021 episode of her Facebook Watch program, Red Table Talk. Her openness about the condition brought significant attention to alopecia areata, particularly after the infamous 2022 Oscars incident where Chris Rock made a joke about her baldness. Viola Davis. Viola Davis experienced a traumatic encounter with alopecia areata at age 28, waking up one day to discover she had lost half her hair, leaving what looked like a mohawk with a large bald patch on top of her head. She later learned the condition was stress-related. Following this hair loss, Davis wore wigs everywhere in the jacuzzi, around the house, to events, during workouts. She never showed her natural hair for years, describing the wigs as a crutch, not an enhancement. Davis admitted she was so desperate for people to think that I was beautiful and felt she had something to hide. Her turning point came at the 2012 Oscars, when she appeared with her natural hair. While she still wears wigs for her show Murder, photo shoots, and when she doesn't have time to manage her natural hair, they are now an option rather than a necessity. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's voluminous wigs have become as iconic as her music, but beneath them lies a practical decision about hair health. In a 2021 interview with Vogue, and in her book Behind the Seams, My Life in Rhinestones, Parton revealed that her switch to wigs was a preventative measure against hair damage from excessive styling. I started wearing wigs because I quickly realized that bleaching and teasing my hair every day would cause breakage and not look good, shared the songwriter. She recognized early on that regular bleaching and teasing could lead to breakage, and wigs offered a solution to maintain her appearance while avoiding bad hair days. Dolly Parton's real hair is described as a golden blonde with natural curls and waves. It's been reported that the country music legend has never dyed her natural hair or used chemicals on it. Her natural hair color is dark blonde, though she stated that since she's been wearing wigs for so long, she's unsure if the color or texture is still the same. In a rare glimpse, Dolly shared a black and white photo of her natural hair on her 75th birthday while in quarantine. This mindset allows her to have perfectly coiffed hair without spending hours in the styling chair. Her famous quote, "It costs a lot of money to look this cheap," refers to the time and effort she puts into perfecting her signature blonde look. Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez has been open about her journey with lupus since 2015, chronicling the impact this condition has had on her health through social media posts and interviews. In 2017, she revealed that she had received a kidney transplant as a result of organ damage caused by lupus. More recently, she shared on a podcast that she has developed arthritis linked to her lupus symptoms. The Texas native also shared that she deals with inflammation and weight fluctuations in a TikTok live stream. Selena explained that her lupus medication causes her to hold on to a lot of water weight, which is a normal side effect. The disease is characterized by episodes of flare-ups and periods of remission, during which symptoms are minimal. During flare-ups, symptoms are typically alleviated with steroids, which rapidly suppress immune function to prevent bodily harm. However, prolonged steroid use can lead to numerous side effects, including adverse effects on bone and eye health, such as cataracts and glaucoma. "I just want people to know that you're beautiful and you're wonderful," Selena shared. "Yeah, maybe we have days where we feel like terrible, but I would much rather be healthy and take care of myself. My medications are important, and I believe they are what helps me." Charlotte Crosby. Reality TV star Charlotte Crosby from Geordie Shore revealed in 2017 that years of wearing hair extensions caused her to develop traction alopecia, with hair loss on the sides that may never come back. Speaking to MTV, Crosby openly discussed her bald patches and the permanent damage extensions had caused. Her case exemplifies a growing trend. Hair loss from extensions is increasing despite greater awareness of the damage they can cause. The warning signs of traction alopecia include shiny patches where hair has been lost and visible scalp. While the damage is usually temporary if extension use stops immediately, continued wearing can cause permanent, irreversible damage to follicles, which may eventually stop producing hair altogether. Britney Spears. When Britney Spears shaved her head during a difficult period in her life in 2007, the tabloids pounced. The pop star, who was going through a painful divorce at the time, was already a constant paparazzi target and gossip fixture, and the head shaving incident seemed to support a narrative that she had become erratic. The pop singer gave herself a buzz cut in 2007 in front of approximately 70 photographers after leaving rehab. In her memoir, The Woman in Me, excerpted in People magazine, Spears explained her reasoning. "I'd been eyeballed so much growing up. I'd been looked up and down, had people telling me what they thought of my body since I was a teenager. Shaving my head and acting out were my ways of pushing back," Spears wrote. After Spears was put in a court-ordered conservatorship in 2008, granting her father and a lawyer control over her financial and personal affairs, she says she was forbidden from keeping the new look. "Under the conservatorship, I was made to understand that those days were now over," she writes. "I had to grow my hair out and get back into shape. I had to go to bed early and take whatever medication they told me to take. While Spears recorded and released 4 successful albums and headlined her Piece of Me Las Vegas residency during what would be a nearly 14-year conservatorship, she was desperately unhappy. I would do little bits of creative stuff here and there, but my heart wasn't in it anymore. As far as my passion for singing and dancing, it was almost a joke at that point, she writes. 13 years went by with me feeling like a shadow of myself.